What is going on, Southern Reptilers? Ryan here. Another day in the turtle and tortoise world. We got lots of stuff going on. We got eggs hatching. We have tortoises and turtles always for sale. We have a box turtle that is making a great recovery, which you will see. And we have chickens that are begging for food when they were just fed 30 minutes ago. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Got lots of stuff for you. I hope you guys stick around, watch the video. If you have not already, please like and subscribe. I will greatly appreciate it. And we are working on doing possibly a giveaway, and the requirements will be very simple: that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel, like I just mentioned, and you donate $5 to a nonprofit organization that works with tortoises and reptiles. And it has to be a legal non-for-profit. It cannot be just a backyard rescue that helps turtles. Those are great. I know plenty of them, but legally it has to be a 501c, I forget the term, non-for-profit. So yeah, and it's going to be an Eastern Herman's hatchling that I'm going to give away. And all the proceeds will go to the not-for-profit, and I am going to cover the shipping costs. So if that's something you would like to participate in, show interest in, please leave a comment, give me the thumbs up, give me some feedback below. Comment, an organization that you think deserves it. I'm gonna have to pick one, so everybody will be donating to the same organization. But yeah, I'm open to suggestions, so drop some comments below and stick around and see what we got going on. Okay, so we are on day one of recovery with my Florida box. As you can see, she's very active, alert, moving around. You could still see a little bit of swelling, but man, that if you saw the last episode, there was a major abscess. So check out that last episode if you want to see, but big difference. So right now, as advised by Dr. Gillen, at PGA Animal Clinic, we are going to be injecting her with an anti-inflammatory for pain, and then just flushing the wound with saline to keep it clean. And my wife is here, my better half, and reason being is she is a registered nurse, and she's a little bit better at poking people with needles than I am. So she's gonna take over on that. So it's a little tough on a box turtle because they can, box up, basically, for lack of a better word, where they close up, and the shot is gonna go into the abdomen. So you will probably have to hold a hind leg, or I'll hold the hind leg. You hold one hind leg. Hold that, exactly. Okay.
Okay, Mama, here we go.
I hit the right side. All right, perfect.
Okay.
Good, great. All went in. Awesome. Okay, so that was the anti-inflammatory, which is, and they're both very important. She looks like she peed. Maybe yeah, a little pee and a little bit of poop. Probably just reacting to it. And now, basically, this is just an irrigation flush she's doing, just spraying it with saline. perfect, perfect.
Ooh, careful.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a little bit painful, but you know, the abscess I'm sure was a lot more painful.
Hang on. Okay, we're almost done.
Okay, so the wound is nice and irrigated now. Get the tub cleaned up, and that's day 1 of her recovery. She's gonna get 4 doses of the anti-inflammatory and plenty of irrigation of the wound. So just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a show on that, and she is on the road to recovery. And thank you to my wife.
Welcome.
Okay, so we're on day 4 of recovery since surgery. Going after that little piece. Teeny tiny piece. Oh, now she's back to the big worm. There you go. That's getting her excited. Alright, so that's her second day of eating. She'll probably finish off the rest of that worm. She's doing great. Still a little puffy, but I'd say she's at 99% recovery. Probably another 2 days, 3 days, and I'll put her back out in the enclosure. Okay, so we found one Florida box hatchling. Now we're gonna go redfoot egg hunting. There are usually always eggs under this house. This little magic wand I'm waving is my poke stick, and I'm gonna show you the technique on how I find nests. It's not the safest way, but I've learned how to do it where I don't usually break eggs. And you know, sometimes I have in the past broken an egg, but I would rather break one egg and find a nest and get all 5 eggs out of the ground instead of not finding any of them, and then maybe a raccoon or worms or fire ants or something happening to where they don't hatch out. You know, sometimes they get buried so deep and roots grow over them they can't get out of the ground, unfortunately. So this is why I do this. So I just I poke around gently. You don't jam it into the ground. So you poke, and And like right here, okay, see now it just kind of came to a soft spot. Over here it's hard, I'm putting pressure and it's not sinking into the ground. And right here, it's easily sinking into the ground. So I'm gonna look right there. And there was definitely something digging here because the dirt is very soft, like it was just moved around. Oh, look at that. There's an egg pretty deep down, about five inches or so. And my, you know, that rebar stick only went about 1/2 inch into the ground. So it's really just going into the kind of the cap that the tortoise kind of puts over the top of the nest, they call the cap, and pushes through that. And underneath that is kind of hollowed out, so it pushes through easily, and then you're able to tell that something was either digging there or there's eggs there. So we got one egg, and now, you know, I have no idea when these were laid. So they could be halfway to term, or they could be laid 3 days ago. So I'm not gonna rotate them at all, assuming there's more than one, which there should be. Okay, there's another one. Yeah, so these are pretty deep down. There's a second one. Clear some of the dirt out of the way. Third one down there. Okay, so number 2. Careful not to rotate. Place them in the dirt. Kind of push them in so they don't roll when I move the container. Okay. The third one. It's weird how some are so white and then some are kind of dark and dirty. Okay. Fourth one. Always just check wide around, because sometimes they'll make a really big nest and there will be an egg tucked off to the side somewhere. But that seems to be it. Alright, so that's the poke test for looking for tortoise eggs. You know, you got to be careful when doing it. But these, you know, as you see, I just did it without breaking any eggs, so it can be done. And to my credit, there's an egg shell. Wonder if the baby hatched. But to my credit, I learned that from watching Camp Kennan. I didn't invent that idea. Yeah, there's eggshell. Sometimes when I find the eggshells, I find babies close by. But yeah, I learned that from watching Camp Kennan, and it's a pretty good method. So just passing it along. Alright, so we got the redfoot hatchlings, we got my wifey and the little bugger running by. Another little hatchling, and it's Father's Day, moving the my other little children to sphagnum moss, and this one has a pretty big yolk stack still to absorb, but that's why I like the sphagnum moss, because it's very damp, keeps them moist, and it also just kind of, it's fluffy, so it keeps the pressure off that yolk sac. You don't want all the weight and pressure of their body on the yolk sac. This one, the yolk sac is basically, basically closed up. So as it starts walking around in here, that vermiculite will begin to scrape off. This little one is tiny, and I know which female this came from, one of my smaller females. Teeny tiny little redfoot compared to the other, just a comparison. And but it's doing good, healthy. This one's got a beautiful shell. It's gonna be a nice one. Perfect scutes too. And we got another one that is kind of awkwardly busting out of the egg. It's got like the top half of the shell stuck to it, so I'm gonna have to do a little two-handed maneuver with that one. So we got lots of egg shells, and I believe there was a couple pipping. I'm trying to find it. It's not very bright right here, but oh, here we go. So you could see, focus. See that pip? That one's just starting to break out. Oh, okay, and the one right next to it is pipping as well. So 2 more pipping. This one is, I could just feel by the weight and the shape of the egg, that the baby is fully developed inside there. So that one should break out with these 3. Sometimes what I do is I put them all right next to each other like they would be in a nest, and in the nest they would all be basically be touching up against each other. So one starts hatching, and the hatchling that isn't feels the vibration of its clutch mate breaking out of the egg and triggers it to start hatching. And moisture can also help as well. So adding a little bit of just spraying down the vermiculite around them, because most tortoises, when they hatch when it rains. So I just hit them with a little bit of water. If you had eggs that were like just chalking, just in development, I would not spray them directly with water like this. But because I know these are all developed and beginning to hatch, that moisture is going to help them get out of the egg like a rainstorm would. So just a little update, and I hope anybody who's having a good day has a happy Father's Day, and enjoy yourself, enjoy your family. Me and my wife and my son are getting ready to just do a little casual exploring, go to a park, do some outdoors activities, and just have some fun together. So have a good day, guys. Just feeding the hypos right now. These are all hypo redfoots, visual hypos. There's some. Got more back here. So that small guy right there is offspring from my het female who laid 3 eggs and hatched 2 visuals. And the other is the small one in the back. Sorry, it's a little hard to film just because I have this mesh top and it's a pain to move around and everything. So they're munching on kale and opuntia cactus. So these are all going to be grown out. That one's probably going to go to the outdoor enclosure with the adults soon. That big blonde one right there. They're beauties, man. I love them. Just to give you a close-up. So that little guy right there in the middle, the red legs, that's from my het female. So this is the baby Eastern Hermans that I would be doing the giveaway for. It does have irregular scutes, which are somewhat common. When you hatch tortoise eggs, you'll get, you know, one or out of every couple clutches that'll get irregular scutes. Not always, but when you're incubating for female, like I do, I incubate most of my eggs for female at higher temperatures. You get maybe one or two every couple months that has an irregular scute. So this is the little one, that little girl or boy that would be given away for the $5 donation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the episode. Thank you for sticking around and watching. If you are watching, please, like I said, drop a comment. You know, let me know your thoughts on the free giveaway of an Eastern Hermans hatchling. It's a beautiful little hatchling. It has an irregular scute, which is somewhat common. It's a cosmetic defect. Anybody who knows tortoises knows that every once in a while you get a hatchling with an irregular scute. So it's a little gloomy, a little rainy outside right now, but the tortoises are loving the weather. So everybody have a great weekend, and remember to check out my website and see what I have available. We got some beautiful Burmese stars. I got one radiated tortoise left. I have some yearling razorback musks that just came in. I have some potential spotted turtles that I might be letting go. A little bit of everything. So check it out, and thank you for your support. Love you all, and have a great weekend.